What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but we've been pretty damn busy. But today I want to get a couple upgrades going. You know, when you buy an RV, especially if you live in it full time, you come to find that you're going to change things up. You're going to install maybe a better type of product. You know, for instance, we put this electric vent in compared to a manual one. It moves a lot more air, so it's you know. But that's just one thing. There's just so many things. So today we actually bought a vent cover. That way when it rains, we can still keep the vent open. And we also have a sponsor for today's video. They sent us out a wireless backup camera for the RV, so I'm going to take a look at that too. I'm going to show you guys all about it. It's really nice because we can you can actually use it as a security device. You can keep the monitor in here, or you could put it in your truck to keep an eye on, you know, the behind you when you're driving. So there's quite a few, you know, good things about it. But let me get everything together here. We're going to hop up on the roof. I'm going to do the vent first, and then we'll jump over to the backup camera. Alright guys, we're up here on top of the roof. As you can see, in the last couple days, I did go ahead and seal and coat my roof. That way it keeps out all the water, and it reflects up to 80% of the sun's heat, especially when you're in a hot climate here like Florida. So it'll help keep the roof a lot cooler and help our little window unit not work, you know, so hard. So this is our vent. It's a two-piece setup. You got to install the back part. Comes with the hardware, and this is the vent it's going to go over. I ran out to Harbor Freight. I picked up a set of drill bits. We need a 3/16 drill bit and a drill. And then once we mount the brackets, the mounting plates, then it just bolts down. It's pretty simple, and then we'll be all set. This shouldn't take more than, I don't know, 10 minutes. So the one thing I did notice about this new vent is with our electronic vent, you push a button on the remote and it automatically lifts the you know, little cover up. Well, if it does that all by itself, it opens up a lot and it goes up way too high. It'll hit the top of this and probably break either the door or the vent or both. So from now on, we're probably going to have to mount this, open the vent manually. It has a little manual handle. That way we don't break anything. But that is so far the one downside that I see from this. Right on the top is the instructions, so it's pretty simple to install. I'm just going to kind of center it where we want it, mark it with a pencil, and then we'll drill the holes into the base, and then that'll be the mounting brackets, and we just got to bolt it down with cotter pins. It's pretty simple. Alright guys, so I got my 4 brackets installed. I marked them with a pencil before I mounted them, that way right in the center of this little cutout I know is where I need to be. So I got those, and then I got the same thing on the other side. Now we're just going to mount this on top, slide these cotter pins through, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, and just like that, she is all installed. So we did the mounting brackets, slip these 2 things in here. Make sure when you do the cotter pins that they're facing, you insert them going towards the back of the RV. That way the wind or something somehow doesn't blow these out, and then you'll lose your vent cover, it'll hit a car. They'll put an insurance claim in, and you'll be paying more insurance. So that's just a pro tip. On the back here, this part is separate, this back panel. So once you install this, you slip it into these 2 little notches on either side, and then you lift it up, and there's 3 tabs. You can kind of see them, maybe. There's 1, 2, and 3. But you have to push it in. You have to give it a good amount of force and click it in. I actually had to bend my plastic tabs up a little bit because they were not going inside the tab catch on the frame. So just keep that in mind if you do buy this. This is, let me see what brand this is. It's called FanMate, and it's part of the Max X Air ventilation systems, you know, thing. If you have a Max Air fan already, they usually come with mounting points on the base, so you don't have to install these. You can actually just put this right over it, slide the tabs through this and the base of the actual vent itself, and then you'll be good to go, and you'll just have to install the back part. This probably took all of, I don't know, 10 minutes, just because I had to figure out how to do everything, and then this kind of took me a minute because I didn't want to crack the vent tabs, because if you crack them, then this is not going to stay in place. So you got to be really careful with that. But yeah, all set, good to go. Now we can run the vent, whether it's rain or shine, and hopefully it'll help keep some of the heat off of the vent too, because our vent is like a smoked lens, so it might attract some heat, but with this on, hopefully it'll help with that a little bit more. Alright guys, I changed my mind. Last night, today's the next day, we've had it in for about 24 hours now, this vent cover. I had all the windows open. I turned the vent on like we usually do to, you know, cycle air through here. And it severely slows down the airflow rate. I mean, from like 100% down to probably 20 or 30%. So it's just, to us, it's just not worth losing that much wind flow. So I am going to pull this thing and return it today. There's no way I can keep this on. It would have been nice, you know, to keep it on during the day when it's raining or whatever, like tomorrow. But it's almost pointless. Like when it runs, even at 100, which is quite loud, it doesn't pull in airflow nearly as well. So just a pro tip for you guys in case you were thinking about doing that. But yeah, today I'm going to be going up there, undoing everything, throwing it back in the box, and sending it to Amazon, because for $75, it does not help our situation at all. Alright guys, next project on the list. This company sent this out to us. I'm really excited about it because I've wanted one for a while. This is Autovox, so this is a wireless backup camera kit. Comes with everything, the screen, the camera, the cables. I think it might come with a booster too. We're going to cut it open and see what we get. Alright guys, so it took me a while to get this all going, but I finally got it. The instructions say that this comes pre-paired, like between the camera and the display. Well, that was not the case in my case, and I had to manually pair them. So it is in the instructions on how to do that, so you can go about doing that. But we are good to go. You can see I can move the camera around. This is a really nice 1080p camera. It's very, very clear, and even in the nighttime, it's very clear. So I'm going to mount this up. I actually didn't know this is a license plate mounted backup camera. Now, I have seen on YouTube a couple people mounted it in different places, like they'll attach it to the rear ladder rack or something like that. I don't have a ladder on this one, so I can't do that. So I'm just going to put it on the license plate, mount it up, and then we'll go check it out. This thing goes really far. I think like 230 feet. So even if you have like a really long RV, you know, 50 feet, 60 feet, this thing will have no problem connecting. So let me get this mounted up to the license plate, and then I'm going to go roll the specs for you guys. This is nice though. I'm excited to have this. Alright, so just a pro tip. This camera bracket has to go behind your license plate so it doesn't obscure any numbers or anything like that, and the cops don't hassle you. So we're going to slide this on here, and then the license plate is going to go over that. Alright guys, so we are mounted up officially. So this is a solar panel right here. This is a completely wireless backup camera. There is no cables. You don't have to run anything. You can pre-charge it. Or if it's just you have a week of cloudiness, they include a power cable, so you can pull this little rubber piece out and plug it in. This says it'll power up to 12 hours at one time. So if you're just using it to back up, you know, it'll last you probably 6 months. If you're going to run it all the time just to keep an eye on your trailer or whatever, you know, behind you, obviously it's going to, you know, use less time. But with the solar panel, it'll just keep charging and charging and charging. So that's really, really nice to have. Pretty easy to mount up. The screws got kind of in the way a little bit. I had to nudge my little fat fingers in there and tighten it up a little bit. I might even get Sam to tighten it up a little bit more with a crescent wrench. But I'm going to run over there. We're going to check out the screen and see how it looks. Alright guys, so I'm right next to the RV obviously, but this is the screen. Crystal clear, super clear. I could see everything. Now it has the backup lines, and you could take those away if you don't like to see those. However, on my RV, what I have to remember too is this camera isn't centered. It's sitting on the right side of the RV right now. So if I'm going to back up or whatever, I have to know that I can't see kind of to the left a little bit. So that kind of stinks. But in the future, we can always move it. I can mount it somewhere else. I could drill it into the side if I wanted to. I mean, we could really move it a lot of places. Honestly, I'll probably leave this one right here. It's fine. I think this one's primarily going to be just if I'm backing up, or if, you know, there's a car behind me and I just want to see what's going on. I mean, it gives a lot of options. Also, we can keep this monitor right inside the RV and keep an eye on what's going on outside, so I don't have to step out. So if I hear something going on, you know, we can all stay safe in the RV. I can just go outside. I mean, I could just go look at the camera, see what's going on. If I need to take action, we can do that. All right, so I'm coming to you guys from inside the truck for a minute because I wanted to show you. So on the mount, it comes with a little mount with 3M tape. And here's my truck. Now you can find a good spot. Hang on, let me fix you guys here a little bit. Now you can look for a spot to see where you want to mount it, because they give you a pretty long cable, which is really nice. So you can mount it anywhere you want and then run the cable so it's nice and discreet. I'll probably mount it somewhere like over here. I wish it came with a suction cable, a suction cup, rather than this. I don't know if you can buy that separately online, because, you know, once this is down, it's down. And if you pull it up, the stickiness isn't going to be good anymore. You're going to have to do, you know, something else or get a whole new mount. So wherever you put this, just make sure it's where you want it, where you can see it well and everything. You know, maybe do like a test fit, just have it sit. You can set it, it's on a swivel a little bit. So, you know, if I'm sitting in the driver's seat over here, I can see the camera quite well, and we should be good to go. And then I have plenty of cable to plug in. Also, which is really nice, is this is a DC outlet, right? This goes into the DC plug, but they also provide you with a USB plug on the top, or on the end rather. So if you want to plug in your phone or something else like that that you would normally plug into that DC outlet, you don't necessarily lose your plug. They still provide you with one, which is sweet. Also, you can kill power to the monitor just by pushing this button. So if you want to leave it plugged into your DC outlet, wherever that is, and you don't want to constantly pull it in, pull it out, you just push this button, kills power to the monitor, and you are good to go. So yeah, that's it with the Autovox wireless solar charged backup camera. I love it, guys. I really appreciate them sending this out to us. I know we're definitely going to be using it a lot in the future, always to check on the RV, to check on the outside. It's definitely going to come in handy. I've even seen on YouTube some people use it as like security cameras around their houses and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And you can actually pair up to 2 cameras on this and split the screen, so you can see 2 screens at the same time. So if you wanted to get one, say, where it couples and keeps an eye on your trailer hitch, let's say, and then one on the back of your trailer, so you can keep an eye on both of those spots at the same time, that's something you can do too. You just got to get another camera itself. So yeah, again, I appreciate them sending this out to us. Definitely gonna be using it. All right, guys, we are back at the property. I know the scenes kind of changed a little quick, but wanted to come back, check on everything. We're gonna be here for the next 2 weeks or so. Just stopped at Love's. We filled up on 200 gallons of water, and I also picked up some more stuff from my P.O. box. So we got quite a bit of stuff going on here. Just got to drain that water, transfer it. You know, ever since we switched into the 17B here, or the 17RB, you know, obviously we lost a little bit of space, quite a bit of space. Went from 31 feet down to 17, but the power consumption has been a lot less. So on these RVs, it doesn't come with a big like 15,000 BTU air conditioner on top. It comes with like a window unit, either a 5,000 or an 8,000. Some of them they upgraded kind of like halfway in between production. So with that, it uses a lot less power. Like right now, we're running the air conditioner on low. It's keeping it nice and cool in there, nice and comfortable. And we're only pulling about 350 to 400 watts, which is a lot less than the big rooftop air conditioners. Those things pull like 1,400, 1,500 watts. The nice thing about that is with our 1,800 watts of solar right here and the beautiful sun beaming, we are running the air conditioner right now totally free, off the power of the sun, and charging the batteries. I'm still getting like 400 or 500 watts in, charging the batteries, topping them off, good to go. So it's really nice. And at night, if the batteries are fully charged, I can get about 7 to 7.5 hours of runtime on the air conditioner without solar. So it's really, really nice. We don't have to run the generator nearly as much, you know, because it's getting really hot here in Florida now. Even though we're only in spring, the whole week is going to be in the 90s here and high humidity. So we are definitely be running that air conditioner. Anyway, they're doing really great. I am going to pull them forward because the sun is more straight up now, whereas back in the day, in the wintertime, it was kind of over that way a little bit more. So I kind of have to pitch the solar panels on a little bit different of an angle. Normally they're all kind of up facing a little bit more. Now they're more flat. So, but it works. They're all getting great solar. And yeah, that's what I have to say about that. So I'm going to hook up our hoses and everything. We're going to drain all of our 200 gallons into our 275 gallon IBC tote there. It probably has maybe a third of a tank, maybe a little less. Sam has some laundry she wants to get done. And you know, we have quite a bit going on. We're still getting everything. I just mowed because now that it's warm, everything is growing really, really fast. So I just mowed, cut down a lot of weeds.
It's always something to do on these properties, especially if you go away, like, you know, how we go away for weeks or months at a time sometimes, especially if you go away like during the warmer months. You come back, everything's a jungle. So keep that in mind if you ever want to get a property in a very warm climate. All right, let's unload this water. Well, I messed up. Hold on. I went to go pump the water out of the tanks before, and it was making like an awful sound, like it just was not sucking water. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, all right, I guess this pump finally burnt out. I go out, I go to the store, I go all the way to Harbor Freight, which is like at least a 35-minute ride from here. Get a new pump, spend $80, so I put a 2-year extended warranty on it. To come home, just to realize that I had it on backwards. I put this pump together 100,000 times. I've never put it on backwards. And I didn't even think to check that before I went out and bought a new one. So now I have an extra pump, a backup pump with a 2-year warranty. So just a pro tip, before you go out and buy a new pump, always make sure it's on the right way. So a couple videos ago, I showed you guys how we hooked up the water straight from the IBC tote, runs into our water pump, and then it plumbs right into the city water connection rather than having to constantly fill our fresh water tank. But now, since we got this box from Redodo, it comes with 12-volt ports on the side and charging. So if you want to charge your phone while you're outside, you could plug your phone in or your tablet or whatever. But this is nice because this is always on, whereas when I had it plugged into the Predator 350 power station, it would shut off after, like, I don't know, 40 minutes or so if you didn't use it. I guess to save battery or whatever, which is kind of annoying because then you have to go back outside, push the power button, and turn it back on and reactivate the pump. Whereas this will just stay here right now. It's always on. As soon as we start, you know, open the faucets or whatever, or the shower, it'll be on, pressurized, and we're good to go. So if you guys are interested in one of those boxes, definitely check them out. They're actually really cool. I like too that it tells you the voltage. All right, Sam and I are gonna go run out. She wants to go to a store. I'm gonna put an ending on this video so I can get it up for you guys because I know it's been a while. But yeah, I'll come back with you guys with an update, you know, probably in a couple days here. All right, bye guys.